What up? It's your boy Bartholomew Jones. We here with the homies from Onyx, Alika. We're at the Anti-Gentrification Cxffee Club out here in North Memphis, Tennessee. Last time y'all saw us, we were out of Arkansas. They came all the way down to the hood to do this joint with us. We're really excited. We got a coffee we're brewing for the Cxffeeblack Barista Exchange program. It is a Rwandan coffee from the Akagera washing station, and it's a natural anaerobic process. I'm hyped to get into it. This man go crazy with the brews, so I'm hyped to see what he think about, you know what I mean, how we get into it. Today we're brewing on the Pourigami. So shout out to the homies at Mir with this. Excited to get into it. And yeah, man, take us away, bro. What are we doing today?
Let's go. Yeah, thanks for welcoming me to North Memphis.
Come on, bro.
Yeah. Excited to be in here. Yeah, this Pourigami was a lot of fun. You mentioned wanting to brew on this, so I got to play with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Shout out to our man Prop.
Yeah, for
sure.
For
introducing both of us to the Pourigami.
Yep.
But yeah, we got this nice natural anaerobic coffee, red bourbon from Rwanda, giving us those church candy vibes.
Yeah, for sure. The strawberry grandma candy. You know what I mean? Out the purse that look like the strawberries, like that's the one right there. You go crazy.
That took me like right back to the like wood panel walls of my grandma's house.
Yep.
When you just grabbed that candy.
Yep.
So we're brewing 18 grams coffee. This was ground on 3 1/3 on the fellow Ogen 2, and can't remember the micron size off the top of my head, but I'll send those for our little blurbs.
Okay.
But 3 1/3 on the fellow
it's a
Ogen.
third. We've been trying to figure out that 3.1, 3 point. What is the 3 1/3?
I just say thirds.
I like that.
1/3, 2/3, and then
that
up
makes
at the top.
For sure.
Yeah. I like the Ogen 2. You know, it's going to create less fines, and so we can grind a little bit finer sometimes and still get really great cups. 18 grams coffee, 1:15 ratio. We're brewing with 270 mils of hot water set to 190 degrees Fahrenheit. You know, I know we tasted some of this coffee, and that cooler temp kind of helped pop that fruit flavor a little bit more.
Yeah, shout out to the 190.
Yeah,
I've been doing
this
that a lot for like my if it's a little bit more developed, like doing like lower temps, it's been a vibe.
Yep. This Rwanda was a little finicky for our roasting, so it is a little bit more developed than maybe like the last time. Like if you had last year's Akagera Natural from Onyx, this is a very different coffee. It's a very different coffee. But we made this recipe pretty straightforward. 3 total pours, 70 gram bloom, and then 100 grams and 100 grams. We're gonna pour a little bit differently. But yeah, let's tear our scales.
I'm into it.
Let's get ready and let's brew.
All right, yo.
So 45 seconds in between each pour.
Okay.
Let's start our timers.
Yeah.
And let's just slowly bloom up to 70 grams total. The geometric shape of this brewer is always really interesting. It is really satisfying to look at.
For sure.
It's like a Dorito.
Yeah, it is like a Dorito.
All right, at 45 seconds, we're gonna pour heavier. Big circle here in the middle, just bring this all the way up to 170, like as fast as we can.
Okay, at what seconds?
At 45.
45.
Yep, and then our last pour will be at 1:30.
Okay.
So we got 10 seconds here. So we're gonna hit this at 45 seconds, take it up to 170.
Okay.
Why don't you tell me how you chose this coffee?
Well, so we went through a couple different iterations, and the reason why we wanted to do a Rwandan coffee was because this coffee used to raise funds for the Black Barista Exchange program, and I knew we were going to Ethiopia and Rwanda, and so we did an Ethiopian coffee for the collaboration with Black and White, and so I was like, man, let's do a Rwandan coffee to celebrate this. And so yeah, man, I'm really excited about it. We got it, and I was like, yo, this tastes like grandma candy. Like it tastes like the little strawberry grandma candy. It tastes like rooibos tea. It's really interesting. And then when I learned about the processing of it, I was like, wow, this is phenomenal to see like a blend of an anaerobic and a natural. A lot of times you see anaerobic naturals.
I'm gonna interrupt you for just a moment because my 1:30 is coming up. I'm gonna do these little tiny circles, just tracing all over this triangle until I get up to that 270 total.
What'd you call this?
Even spiral water flow.
Even spiral
Yep.
water flow.
I got to work with the.
Why does it sound like a Naruto move? What's the
We doing some
Waterfall.
some Pourigami jutsu over here.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, my buddy Garam from Brazil, who was World Brewers #3 this year.
Okay.
This is
The winner was
that,
from
like-
Brazil this year too, yeah?
the barista, his brother, Borum. So Borum and Garam
Shout out to the
Brazil.
Brazil.
So Garam and our friends in Panama, Kai Jansen, they do this really tight little spiral flow. It's a different brewer, but you mentioned how y'all had been brewing on this, and it just really made me think of that pouring style, because it's like small agitation, but you're still touching all the coffee, and that seemed to work
For the
really
shape,
well
it
for this
makes
coffee.
sense. Our new AGM, Rashard, like I've been seeing him, he's so focused when he does it. I was like, AJ, kind of, that's hard. I gotta tell him that we got a jutsu now. We got coffee like jutsu. I'm into that.
Spiral water flow.
Even spiral waterfall. What I like about this, first and foremost, is how like convenient it is.
Yeah.
Like, I can just fold it up, I throw it in my bag. This, I told you.
You could like almost fit this in your wallet.
No, for sure. For sure. With the right size wallet, you definitely could.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Like 310 I just finished.
Okay. Yeah.
I got it for you. There you go. Those look very even. It has been very consistent, this brew.
And I feel like I find if I tap it like at the end too,
then it
like
all flattens down.
Yeah.
It's an interesting brew because you got, like you can see, like it's a triangle.
Obviously.
And so you got these flat walls that aren't gonna bypass with this paper filter, which usually slows the brew down. But in the corners, like the filter doesn't fit perfectly in those corners. So we do still get some airflow and some bypass, but it's been very
I've
nice.
been getting into like some of these like zero bypass joints, and I ain't gonna hold you, I appreciate bypass more and more every day. I'm like, all right.
I'm a firm believer, we've been brewing with bypass for years and years. It's not.
So we learned in Ethiopia a 2,000-year-old blessing. The first time you serve somebody coffee, they taught us in the Guji zone to tell it to people. So I want to say it to you. It's Bunafi Nagea Hindabina. It means may your house lack no coffee nor peace. So yeah, peace upon you and the house and the homies at Onyx, bro.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
May your house
lack no coffee nor peace.
No coffee nor peace.
Oh wow, that's sweet, bro. I think this is the sweetest one so far.
It pops. This is, we've got this anaerobic natural. Did you just taste it on like sample roast, cupping table?
Yeah, I tasted it in the sample roast. I like to cup, but sometimes when I want to know how a coffee is gonna taste, I just brew it a lot.
And if that's how you're gonna be serving it,
yeah,
then absolutely. Yeah, this coffee is going to brighten, sweeten, and mellow out as it ages. We're drinking this, let's see, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like 3 days off roast.
Okay.
14 days. I think you mentioned having it like even older than that. Like it's really gonna brighten up.
Yeah, I had it like, I don't know, a month off roast, and it just kept getting better. Like I was like, this is kind of wild.
Some of these processings, they just do that. Especially like, this is a nice coffee with the processing. It's not
as it cools.
Yeah.
That the little jelly inside the like grandma candy. That's crazy.
Tell us a bit about the Barista Exchange program. We're splitting proceeds of this coffee with your program. Tell us about that. Like what is this benefiting, and what are your goals?
Yeah, for sure. So we're gonna take 4 African American baristas to the motherland to learn about pre-colonial coffee cultures. One of them is right there. Shout out to Sid. Yeah, and so we're gonna be. It's an opportunity to create like a culturally congruent experience in coffee. That I think is kind of difficult for me. It has been difficult to experience. Like you go into coffee shops, especially as like a person of African descent, and sometimes like my experience and what I'm feeling about coffee is not reflected in the shops that I go to. And so like, obviously that was the point of the Anti-Gentrification Coffee Club, is to like be as close of a portal as we could. So people could like experience not just like the cupping notes, but the cultural notes of the coffee. And man, when the community came around me back in like 2021, and we did the GoFundMe, we got $24,000 in like 72 hours. Everybody was like, go to Africa, shoot the documentary. We shot the doc. We won Best Film in Coffee last year. And since that point, every time I show the film, people are like, man, let me know when you go. I want to come with you.
Did you guys get the Sprudgie last year?
Yeah, we got the Sprudgie last year. It was crazy. And it was like, man, I didn't know how to create an experience where people could have that same experience, except by bringing it to the community again. Like the community is the reason why I was able to go. Like people from all around the world donated. And so we're like, if people are interested in making this an experience, that's an opportunity for people of color here, specifically of African descent, to like have an experience in coffee where they can see their own history. Like, let's do it. And then we had the idea of like, bro, whenever I go to Origin, like I'm hearing about how hard it is for people at Origin to access resources like training, equipment. Lynn Butler, who's one of the people who's on the board for the Black Barista Exchange program, like he tells stories about competing in the World Barista Championship, and one of the African baristas coming and asking him like, hey, where's our blenders? You know what I mean? Like, like where's our blenders? You feel me?
I mean, that's a blender.
It is a blender.
That's 4 blenders.
Yeah, and he was like, why do you need a blender? Like, we got the Black Magic grinder or whatever. And he was like, well, how are we gonna grind the coffee beans if you don't have a blender? Like, he had been using a blender for competition prep. You know what I mean? And I'm like, wow. That's one of those joints where it's like, bro, if we could take, like, I was like, when I went to Ethiopia and Rwanda, it was the most transformative coffee experience I've ever had in my life. Cried all the times, my wife cried all the times, and it was such a beautiful opportunity. It felt like everybody was saying welcome home, and like it just felt like this connection. And so we were like, well, I would do anything to just pay that debt back. I feel so indebted to those communities. So like, of course I'll teach you what I know about coffee. It's like whatever, it's like a cookout. You taught me so much about pre-colonial coffee culture. In Rwanda, we learned about like decolonization strategies. It was like, and the dangers of when you don't decolonize. I was like, of course I'll teach you whatever I know about coffee. Like, that's the least I can do. And so many other African-American baristas that I spoke to felt the same way. Like Lim felt the same way. Twiz, who's also on the board down in Houston, felt the same way. And then the baristas who applied to be a part of the program. So it's like, yo, whatever we have, we'll come teach y'all. Y'all teach us. Let's just have an exchange. Like, you don't have to pay me anything. This is about us pouring into each other. And so that came the concept for it. And then we had to figure out how to fund it. Which is like, it's not cheap to take 4 people to Africa and bring 4. And then next year we're bringing 4 baristas back here to the States.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so we just needed a way to like raise funds. And so I was like, who are some dope coffee homies who would like help us raise money for this program? We worked with Rabbit Hole, we worked with Black and White, and then of course we wanted to work with the homies at Onyx. Our collab we did last time, bro, was crazy. It went crazy. I feel like it made such a huge impact in the community, and so like running this back again for an even bigger cause, it's like we had to do it, bro. Yeah.
Well, dang.
Delicious. Yeah, I get like the rooibos heavy too now.
Especially when it cools, you get that strawberry, some of that rooibos. It is still like a little bit of freshness to it, but that'll, as it rests a little bit, that'll chill out a little bit.
Yeah, I describe it like tasting electricity. It's like molecules moving. It just tastes like energy, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, yeah, this definitely just got
like it's moving on your tongue.
Yeah,
it's not like
it's just like
sticking on it. It's
it's heat. I don't know how to describe it, but this joint is dope, bro.
That's good.
Yeah, y'all go cop a box, you feel me? Tap into the Black Barista Exchange program. This is live on Onyx's site. We'll have a couple bags on our site too. Here at the Coffee Club, you can pick up a couple. And,
QR code takes you right to Cxffeeblack website. All your other merchandise, all your other events. You know, other programs.
Like these shirts. These shirts are a part of the fundraising gear we drop. Coffee, it's an African fruit. This is a Stenophila, a Sierra Leonean species of coffee. But yeah, we want to be able to help make a future where coffee in Africa is aligned with Black flourishing and the flourishing of those communities, including coffee and all its species. So yeah, appreciate y'all. Keep that coffee black. We out. This is the best one so far, bro.